I found out I was dumped from a group chat I wasn't even supposed to be in. It was 7:13 p.m. on a Thursday. I was halfway through making dinner, garlic shrimp pasta, because Logan loved it, when my phone buzzed with a notification from Bridal Brainstorm. It wasn't a group I'd joined. I didn't even recognize the name. But somehow, I'd been added. And just as suddenly, I got a glimpse of a conversation I was never meant to see. Tessa, well, she finally got what she wanted. Let's hope she doesn't blow this relationship like the last one. Alyssa, she doesn't even know yet. Maya, Logan told her. Tessa, nah, I sent the pics. She'll figure it out eventually. Image attachment, 3 photos. I froze, my thumb hovered over the images. When I tapped the first one, my breath left my lungs like a punch. It was Logan. Kissing someone. In our apartment, on our couch, with his shirt off. Second photo, Logan and the same woman curled up together, wine glasses, candlelit, intimate. Third photo, a blurry bathroom mirror shot, Logan wrapped in a towel. And behind him, a woman in my robe. I stared at the images for a solid 30 seconds before my fingers caught up. I clicked on the group name, scrolled the member list, and nearly dropped my phone. Tessa Monroe. My sister. Added by Tessa Monroe. At first, I thought it was a mistake, a cruel coincidence, some other Tessa. But then came another message. Tessa, oh shit, did I add the wrong Emily? Tessa Monroe removed Emily S. from the group. Too late. Too fucking late. I stood in my kitchen, pasta boiling over, garlic burning in the pan, and realized 2 things. My fiancé had cheated on me. My sister helped cover it up. I didn't call, I didn't cry, I didn't even scream. I walked. I grabbed my keys, still wearing my apron, and drove straight to Logan's condo. I had a key. We'd been engaged for 5 months. The ring was still on my finger, still warm from my skin. His car was out front. When I opened the door, the lights were low. A Spotify playlist was playing, our engagement playlist, the one we made the night he proposed. And there she was. The girl from the photo. Wrapped in my robe, drinking from my mug, laughing at something Logan said from the kitchen. She turned as I stepped inside. Emily, she said, blinking. Logan walked out with a bowl of popcorn. When he saw me, his face fell. Don't, I said, holding up the phone. Just don't. He opened his mouth. I showed him the screenshots. His face went sheet white. Who sent those? He asked, voice hollow. Take a wild guess. He looked down. Tessa. The girl Kara, I would learn later, wrapped the robe tighter. Should I leave? Yes, I said. No, Logan said at the same time. We stared at each other. I turned to Kara. You knew he was engaged. She swallowed. He said it was complicated. It's not, I said. He was mine. Now he's yours. Congratulations. I tossed the engagement ring on the coffee table. It bounced once, then settled beside the popcorn bowl. I didn't wait for an explanation. I walked out, drove around until I couldn't see straight, ended up in a Walgreens parking lot, shaking, eyes burning, the smell of burnt garlic still in my hair. Then I called Tessa. She didn't pick up. So I texted, tell me why. Nothing. So I drove to her house. She answered the door in leggings and a messy bun. Sipping green tea like this was just another night. Hey, Em, everything okay? I shoved the phone in her face. Tessa, what the fuck is this? She looked at the screen, blinked. Oh. Oh. She sighed. You weren't supposed to see that. I did, so start talking. She walked back into her living room, plopped onto her couch like this was a casual wine night. You were too far gone, she said. With Logan, you didn't see what we all saw. What did you see? That he wasn't good for you, she said. He was arrogant, controlling. He cut you off from your friends, from me. You didn't even notice. I didn't notice because you were smiling to my face while helping him cheat on me. I didn't help him cheat, she snapped. I exposed it. Oh, right, I said. By sending half nudes of my fiancé to a group chat and letting me find out by accident. She paused. I could see it then, the calculation, the self-justification. You were always the favorite, she said quietly. The pretty one, the engaged one, the one who got it all. I was just the funny little sister who helped plan the bachelorette party. What the hell does that have to do with anything? She stood up. Logan and I talked a lot while you were busy. He said things, confided in me. One night he showed up crying, said you threatened to call off the wedding over the furniture budget. So you comforted him with Kara. Kara was a pawn, Tessa said flatly, a placeholder. My jaw dropped. She looked me dead in the eyes. I didn't send those photos because I hated you, Em. I sent them because you needed to wake up. He was never yours, not really. My blood turned to ice. I backed away. And just as I reached the door, she added, "Oh, by the way, that fake profile that messaged you about Logan last month, the one you blocked, that was me too." I stared at her. "You catfished me." She smiled. "You needed to see the cracks before everything collapsed. I just gave it a push." I slammed the door behind me. But the next morning, I got another message. From a different number. "Hey Em, you don't know me, but I think you should see this. Your sister made more than just one fake account. She made 10, and one of them's in a relationship with Logan." Attached was a screenshot. A fake profile. Photos of me, but younger edited. Status, in a relationship with Logan Carter. Account managed by Tessa Monroe. I stared at the screenshot for a full minute before I realized I wasn't breathing. 10 fake profiles. A relationship status with my fiancé. And the account that posted it was pretending to be me. My sister didn't just sabotage my relationship. She performed it. I clicked the user profile attached to the message. It had already been deleted, but the screenshots were clear. A younger version of me, airbrushed, filtered, styled, posed in photos I'd never taken, with captions I never wrote. "Can't wait to see you tonight. He brings me flowers, even when I say I don't need them. Real love is quiet, loyal, sacred." All time-stamped during the exact months Logan and I had been together publicly. I felt sick. I felt hunted. I called the number that sent the message. A woman answered. "Hi, Emily," she said nervously. "Yeah, who is this?" "My name's Nicole. I'm Kara's sister." I went still. "Kara as in?" "Yeah," she said. "The girl from the photos. I wanted to apologize." I didn't say anything. She continued. "Kara thought Logan was single. Said he told her you were crazy, possessive, controlling, said you were the one who stalked him with fake accounts, that you tried to ruin his last relationship with a psycho little sister." I pressed the phone harder to my ear. Nicole went on. "When Kara found out the truth, she dumped him. She was pissed. He begged her to stay quiet. That's when she came to me. We looked up your socials and realized the fake account that was messaging Kara, it was Logan. It was your sister." My mouth went dry. "She used your photos. She'd message Kara saying things like, 'He'll come back to me,' or 'You'll never be me.' It freaked her out. Kara blocked the account but saved everything." Nicole paused. "She's ready to talk if you want." "I do," I said. 10 minutes later, Kara and I were on a video call. No makeup, no filters, no lies. Just two women who'd been pulled into a family-fueled, boyfriend-baiting, identity-scrambling shitshow. "I swear to you, I didn't know," Kara said. "He told me you two had been broken up for months, that he was in therapy, that your sister was the only one still making it weird." "My sister's the one who made it all weird," I snapped. "I get that now, and I'm sorry. If I'd known, I never would have touched him." She looked genuinely wrecked. I believed her. But it still didn't explain the why. Why Tessa would go so far, so deep into manipulation. Catfishing, account creation, false relationship statuses. That was when Kara said, slowly, "There's one more thing you should know. Logan told me something once. I didn't think anything of it at the time." I waited. She hesitated. "He said your sister used to call him at night, after you went to bed." My stomach dropped. "He said she was emotional. Said you guys had always been close, but something changed when he proposed. That she was jealous but wouldn't say it out loud." I was shaking now. "He told me," Kara whispered, "that one night she kissed him." Silence. I couldn't breathe. Kara swallowed. "He said he didn't kiss her back, that it confused him. And then, 2 weeks later, he started seeing me." I ended the call, not because I didn't believe her, but because I couldn't take one more truth. That night I couldn't sleep, so I went digging. Through emails, Instagram DMs, voice memos, shared calendar invites, all the digital threads of my life Tessa had touched. That's when I noticed it. A message from 3 months ago, from my own account. Sent to Logan at 3:14 a.m. I'm not good enough for you, I get it, you're right to look elsewhere. I had never written that. I opened the login logs. The message had been sent from a device I didn't recognize, an iPad. I called Apple support. They walked me through the steps, told me how to check recent logins, IPs. One IP stood out. Tessa's house. She had logged into my account, posed as me, told my fiancé to look elsewhere. I stared at the screen in the dark, gripping the phone like it was the only thing keeping me from falling off the planet. Then another notification. Instagram DM from a new account, no profile pic, just this message. Ask her about the lake house, summer 2019. That was the year Logan and I first met, at a 4th of July party. At Tessa's lake house. The message was followed by a single blurry photo. Of Tessa in a bikini. Sitting on Logan's lap. Caption, pregame fireworks. The timestamp. 1 month before Logan ever met me. And I realized something sickening. Logan didn't fall for me at that party. He was already sleeping with my sister. The photo burned into my vision. Tessa on Logan's lap, her arms looped around his neck like they were the ones dadding, his mouth grazing her shoulder, her smiling like she knew exactly what she had and who she was going to take it from next. The caption was the final nail. Pre-game fireworks. Posted from her private spam account. And the date, June 28, 2019. Exactly 1 month before Logan bumped into me at that stupid rooftop bar and pretended we'd never met. I dropped the phone. My hands were shaking too hard to hold it. I stumbled to the bathroom sink, splashed cold water on my face, stared at myself in the mirror. I wasn't just betrayed. I'd been recruited into my sister's twisted performance, played like a character in her script. Every scene written, blocked, and directed by Tessa. I was the dummy bride, the bait, the pawn. And worst of all, I was never the first choice. I needed answers, I needed receipts, I needed revenge. So I went back to the one person who would always know where Tessa hid the bodies, our mom. I drove to her house, still in my pajamas, hair in a messy knot, rage simmering under my skin. She opened the door in a housecoat and sleepy eyes. Emily, she blinked, what's going on? Tell me the truth, I snapped, shoving the photo into her hands. Was Tessa ever with Logan before I was? Her face changed. Not surprise. Recognition. Mom. She looked down. It was just a summer fling. They didn't tell you. I staggered back a step. What? They were casual, on and off. He was one of the lake house guys. I didn't think it mattered. You and Logan got serious later. You didn't think it mattered that I got engaged to someone who'd already had a thing with my sister. She flinched. They were teenagers, you were adults. He was 23, I was 24 when we met. She tried to backtrack. I thought he was over her, you seemed happy, I just wanted to stay out of it. I laughed, loud, bitter. This whole family is allergic to telling me the truth. Then something hit me. You said they didn't tell me. You knew, Dad knew. She hesitated. Did everyone in this fucking family know but me? Silence. I turned to leave. Don't call, don't text, just don't. As I walked out, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. She's still talking to him, I thought you should know. Attached, screenshot of a current text, thread between Tessa and Logan. My eyes flew across the messages. Tessa, she's unraveling, you owe me. Logan, don't start with that. Tessa, I kept your secret. I ruined her for you, you promised. Logan, I didn't promise anything. Tessa, then I'll send the real photos. Let her see what July 4th really looked like. I scrolled up. There they were. Photos not from the spam account. These weren't posted anywhere. These were private. One, Logan asleep in bed, shirtless. Tessa next to him, grinning at the camera. 2. Logan holding Tessa's waist in the lake mid-laugh, her bikini top untied. 3. A mirror selfie of Tessa in Logan's sweatshirt, nothing else. Timestamp July 5, 2019. The morning after the party. The morning Logan told me he saw me for the first time. He'd kissed me that night. He asked for my number, told me he was single, told me he'd just gotten out of something complicated. That complicated thing was my sister. I nearly screamed. Instead, I texted him. Hope you and Tessa rot in whatever hell you built together. Then I blocked him. 5 minutes later, I got another message, this time from Alyssa, the same girl from the group chat. Emily, I didn't know it was that bad, but you need to see this. Tessa planned everything. We thought it was a joke. Attached, screenshot of a private group chat between Tessa and 3 friends. Tessa, watch this. I'm going to match with Logan from a burner and see how fast he bites. Maya, LMAOY though. Tessa, because he used to love me, I want to see if he still does. Plus, I want Em to know what it feels like to lose the golden boy. Alyssa, isn't that a little? Tessa, don't worry. I'll delete the messages before she finds out. She'll blame Logan, not me. She always does. Photo attachment. A screenshot of Tessa's fake Tinder profile, using one of my selfies but airbrushed and edited. I stared at that message so long, my hand went numb. It wasn't just sabotage. It was a campaign. A long, deliberate plan to ruin me, to steal my partner, to recreate me in her own image, then burn the original. And then came the final twist. Another message. This one from Logan's ex, a girl named Sienna. I remembered her vaguely, blonde, quiet, followed me briefly when Logan and I first started dating. Hi Emily, you don't know me but I dated Logan before you. He cheated. It destroyed me. I thought you should know, I got a message once. From someone named EM telling me Logan would never love anyone like he loved Tessa. I ignored it, but now I realize Tessa has been doing this for a long time, and I think you were always the final target. I reread the message from Sienna 3 times. You were always the final target. It hit like a cold slap, because somewhere deep in my gut, I knew it was true. This wasn't about Logan. It wasn't even about love. It was about me. It had always been about me. I was the sister who graduated first, the one who got the scholarships, the job offers, the long-term relationship, the engagement ring. I didn't think of it as competition, but Tessa, she'd been keeping score. And apparently, I was the game-winning move. So I made a decision. No more reacting. It was time to expose her. I messaged Sienna back. Can you send me that message, the one from EM? She did, screenshot attached. EM, you'll never win. Logan was never yours. He only used you to forget her. Ask him about the necklace. She still wears it. Sienna, who is this? EM, let's just say the girl who always gets the guy in the end. A chill crawled up my spine. I knew exactly what necklace that meant. A delicate silver chain with a tiny emerald pendant. Logan gave it to me on our 1-year anniversary, said it reminded him of my eyes. I wore it every day for months. Then one day, it vanished. I asked Logan if he'd seen it. He said I probably lost it in the laundry. I believed him. Now, with dread settling in my stomach, I went to my closet and pulled out a box of old photos. From birthdays, beach days, family trips, snapshots of Tessa and me over the years. And there it was. A photo from last Thanksgiving, Tessa leaning over the pumpkin pie. Wearing my necklace. Zoom in. No mistaking it. I called her. She picked up after 2 rings, all fake warmth. Hey, Em, you good? I didn't even answer. Where's my necklace? She paused. What necklace? Don't do this. The emerald one Logan gave me, the one you wore to Thanksgiving. Oh, that one, she said, tone casual. I found it in the bathroom sink, thought you didn't want it anymore. You stole it. Borrowed, she snapped. You have so many things, Emily, you wouldn't even notice one little necklace. I laughed hollow. You know what I notice now? The pattern, the stalking, the burner accounts. The fact that you made a Tinder profile with my pictures just to match with my fiancé. She went silent. So tell me, I said, voice calm but lethal, What was the end game? Was it to sleep with him? Ruin me? Or did you think you'd somehow become me? Silence, then a sharp inhale. You don't get it, she said finally. You've never gotten it. I've been your shadow since we were kids. You get everything. I get whatever's left. So yeah, maybe I wanted something first for once. Maybe I wanted to know what it felt like to win. I didn't respond. Because for the first time, I wasn't angry. I was done. Click. I ended the call. And 5 minutes later, I sent everything. Every screenshot, every photo, every message. To every single person who ever doubted me. Family, friends, Logan's parents, her job's HR email, our extended relatives group chat, even the bridesmaids she'd added to that bridal brainstorm group. The subject line was simple. The truth about Tessa. And then I posted a thread online. I didn't include names, but the story, it was all there. The sister who made fake accounts. The fiancé who kissed her at the lake house. The group chat leak. The staged photos. The fake relationship profiles. The deleted texts. The necklace. The final reveal that it was all part of a calculated takedown, just to win a game I never signed up for. The thread went viral. Within 48 hours, it had over 750K views. People DM'd me their own sibling horror stories. Women said they left cheaters after reading it. Men asked how to spot red flags. A podcast reached out asking for an interview. Tessa. She went nuclear. She texted me a string of all-caps messages. How dare you? Your RUNNGMY life. You think this MAKS you better than me. He never really loved YOU. You don't deserve THAT baby. I froze on the last one. The what? Then came the photo. A blurry picture of a positive pregnancy test on a bathroom sink. Captioned, "Mine, not yours." I stared at the screen. Was it real? Was she bluffing? Did she plan this too? And that's when my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. A woman's voice, soft, apologetic. Hi, is this Emily? I'm calling from Dr. Lowell's office. We received a call to transfer your fertility records, but the name attached was Tessa Monroe. My throat closed. What? She said you gave consent, but something felt off. She said you wouldn't be using the embryo after your breakup, but we still need verification before any destruction or reassignment of genetic material. I sat down. My ears buzzed. My fertility records. My embryo. The one Logan and I froze together last year. The one with my name on it. The one Tessa was now trying to claim. She said I managed to choke out. The nurse on the line spoke gently, like I was a child about to be told her house had burned down. She claimed to be acting on your behalf, that you signed over your embryo access after a breakup, but the paperwork was inconsistent, and honestly, it raised red flags. I couldn't even speak. My heart was hammering so loudly it drowned everything. She was requesting to have the embryo released for personal use, the nurse continued. We flagged it because the genetic donor is still listed as you, and she doesn't have a partner listed for co-signature. She isn't me, I croaked. That embryo is mine and Logan's. The line went silent for a second. Then the nurse said, we thought so. I hung up. I didn't scream. I couldn't. Because it was worse than I'd thought. Tessa didn't just want my boyfriend. She didn't just want to ruin my relationship. She wanted my future. She wanted my child. She was trying to become me in every possible way. And she'd gotten far enough to almost steal an embryo created with my DNA. I dropped to the floor, breathing hard, clutching my phone like it was the only solid object left in the world. Then came the knock on the door. 3 sharp raps. I pulled myself up and peered through the peephole. Tessa, looking like nothing had happened, holding a latte in one hand and a gift bag in the other. I didn't open the door. Emily, she said sweetly, can we talk? I didn't answer. She knocked again. I just want to explain. You tried to steal my embryo, I said through the door. Silence. You catfished me, you stalked me, you seduced my fiancé, you sabotaged every part of my relationship, and now you're trying to impregnate yourself with my child. I wasn't going to go through with it, she shouted. I opened the door halfway, just enough for her to see me, just enough for her to hear every word. You sent group chat photos to humiliate me. You logged into my email. You created fake versions of me. What the hell is wrong with you? She started to cry. I didn't buy it. I was alone, she shouted. You had everything, the fiancé, the career, the perfect life. Perfect, I said. You think I was living some dream life while you set it on fire from the inside. I just wanted to matter, she screamed. I just wanted one thing that was mine. That's the problem, Tessa, I said coldly. You don't want something that's yours. You want everything that's mine. She broke down sobbing. Full sobs, ugly sobs. I'm pregnant, she finally said. I stared. What? It's not the embryo, she said. It's real, I'm pregnant, and it's Logan's. Everything inside me went still. She looked up at me, mascara streaking. I didn't mean for it to happen. I whispered, but you hoped it would. She didn't deny it. Logan doesn't know yet, she said. I wanted to tell you first. I don't know, something. She handed me the gift bag. Inside, a baby onesie. Printed across the chest, cousins or siblings. I slammed the door so hard the walls shook. That night, I did something I hadn't done in weeks. I logged into the old wedding planning folder. Pulled up the guest list, the budget, the venue contract. Then I found the tab labeled Day of Folder. Inside were all the little notes I'd written in happier times. Logan wants lemon cake. Tessa giving the maid of honor toast. Put baby's breath in bouquet for dad. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I deleted every single line. After that, I posted one more thread. Not anonymous this time. What happens when your sister doesn't just stab you in the back, but tries to take your entire identity with the blade? I told everything. The fertility fraud. The fake profiles. The staged photos. The embryo theft attempt. The pregnancy reveal. The stolen necklace. The Tinder burner. The manipulated breakup. The internet exploded. Over 1.2 million views in 2 days. Tessa's name started trending, first on Twitter, then on TikTok. Tessa the thief. Cisplandital. Sibling sabotage. She was called everything from Lifetime movie villain to psychotic social climber. People dug up her old college blogs, her modeling photos, her deleted comments on Logan's Instagram. Then came the final domino. Logan messaged me. We need to talk, please. I didn't know she'd gone that far. I feel sick. She said the baby might not even be mine. I didn't respond, but I did forward the message to Tessa. And added, you two deserve each other, but that baby doesn't deserve either of you. The next morning, I woke up to a nightmare in progress. Voicemail from my dad. 3 missed calls from Logan. And a DM from a journalist asking if I'd like to comment on the story before it runs. My stomach dropped. I opened Twitter. It was everywhere. Viral thread claims woman tried to impregnate herself with sister's embryo. Tessa the thief trends after explosive allegations of identity theft and romantic sabotage. Sibling drama or criminal fraud. Experts weigh in on wild fertility scandal. Tessa's face was on news banners. Photos from her old modeling days splashed next to headlines that read like tabloid fiction. Even the local morning show did a segment. One anchor winced as she read the on-screen caption. She slept with her sister's fiancé, then tried to use her frozen embryo. And there on screen was the baby onesie. Cousins or siblings. I wanted to be sick. And somehow, this still wasn't the bottom. That came 3 hours later, when I got an email from a lawyer. Subject, Notice of Intended Paternity Petition Filing, Monroe v. Fields. Attached was a formal draft. Tessa was trying to legally establish Logan as the father of her unborn child and file for preliminary financial support. But the kicker, she had named me in the filing, claimed I had meddled in the parental relationship, and was actively interfering in private medical matters. She accused me of slandering a medically recognized pregnancy and withholding relevant documents that pertain to early fertility agreements. She was saying that I had jeopardized the baby's future by going public. I stared at the PDF like it was written in fire. It wasn't enough to destroy my engagement. It wasn't enough to violate my body, steal my image, gut my trust. Now she wanted me in court as the villain. I called my lawyer. She read the email, then said flatly, "She's bluffing. This is a threat, not a filing. There's no legal standing for any of this unless the embryo transfer actually occurred, and it didn't, but you'll need to respond." And then she added, "Emily, she's not stable. You need to consider a restraining order." That night, I did more than that. I drove to my parents' house, unannounced, while Tessa was still living in their guest room. She answered the door in a hoodie and leggings, looking pale and glassy-eyed. I didn't yell. I held up the court draft. "This is who you are now." Her voice cracked. "You're making it worse." "No," I said, "you made it worse. Every single time you doubled down when you could have stopped. You could have confessed, apologized, asked for help, but you lied, then you stole, then you tried to replace me." Tessa stared, dead silent. I stepped inside, and that's when I saw my mom. She was sitting at the dining table, reading something. She looked up, guilt carved across her face like stone. "I didn't know," she said softly. "Yes, you did," I snapped. "You always knew, about Logan, about the necklace. You knew something was off, and you said nothing." Mom looked down. "I thought she just needed help. I thought it was a phase." Stealing someone's embryo isn't a phase. And then I looked at Tessa and asked the question I'd been dreading. "Are you actually pregnant?" Her face didn't change. That scared me. I stepped closer. "I need to hear you say it." Finally, she whispered no. Silence. Mom gasped. I stared at her, then why? Tessa crumbled. Because I needed something she couldn't take back, something final, something she couldn't erase with a thread or a screenshot or a clever clapback. I needed the last word. I backed away like she was radioactive. "You don't need help, Tessa," I said coldly. "You need a psych evaluation." She tried to reach for me. I stepped back. "I'm done being your mirror. I'm done being your trophy. I'm done being the person you build your entire life around just so you can destroy it." I walked out. And this time, no one followed. 2 weeks later, the internet moved on. Another scandal, another villain, another story to dissect. But I didn't move on. Not really. Because one last message came through. From Logan. A simple text. "Check the wedding Dropbox. There's something in there you never saw." I almost deleted it. But curiosity won. I opened the Dropbox. One folder, labeled Private, Don't Show M. Inside, a video. From his bachelor party. The screen flickered, dim lights, laughter. And then, a drunk Logan, looking right into the camera. He was talking to Tessa. "You know," he slurred, "I used to think it'd be you, I always wondered. But then M happened. And I was like, shit, maybe the wrong sister walked through the door first." He laughed. Tessa giggled. "Still," he said, "you and me, we had something." The video ended. I deleted it. Then I deleted the Dropbox. Then I deleted every last trace of both of them from my phone, my computer, my accounts, my mind. Almost. Because there was one thing I didn't delete. One final piece of proof. The real pregnancy test. From my embryo consultation. Dated 6 weeks ago. Positive. And only my name on it. I stared at the test. The real one. The one I'd taken after the last failed therapy session with Logan. The one I'd tucked away in a drawer when everything fell apart. I hadn't even looked at it again. I told myself it was too early to get hopeful. That it was probably a false positive. That I'd retest later. But it wasn't false. It was mine. My body, my baby, my decision. And somehow, in the absolute wildfire of betrayal that had scorched my relationship, my family, and my reputation, I had forgotten the one truth no one could steal from me. I was still whole. Still me. still capable of beginning, even when everything else ended. I didn't tell anyone at first. Not my mom, not friends, not even my lawyer. I needed one thing, just one thing, to exist outside the reach of other people's damage. But the moment I let myself feel it, really feel it, it hit me like a wave. A deep, aching grief for what could have been and a strange, fierce love for what still was. I wasn't carrying a lie. I was carrying a restart. 3 weeks later, I sent a single email. To Tessa Monroe. Subject, closure. There's nothing you can say that would undo what you did. I won't forgive you, but I won't fight you either. You don't have to chase what's mine anymore. You'll never catch it. P.S. I never needed Logan's love to feel whole, but someone else will have it now, unconditionally. Goodbye. I didn't get a reply. But 2 days after that, her account disappeared from every social platform, deleted, vanished, like she'd scrubbed herself clean. Maybe shame finally caught up. Or maybe she was just planning her next costume. I didn't care. She was out of my frame. I moved out of the apartment I shared with Logan, signed the lease on a smaller place just outside the city, quiet neighborhood, soft light, room for peace to grow. One afternoon, while unpacking, I found something wedged in a stack of old mail. A handwritten card, no envelope. To Emily from Dad. Inside, we don't choose the storms that find us, but we decide who we are after they pass. And no matter what your sister does, you are still my first love. Proud of you, always. Dad. I cried for a full hour. Because even with all the rot, all the betrayal, some roots were still good. When the baby started to kick, I smiled to myself. No announcement, no ultrasound reveal, no Pinterest gender party. Just me, a slow, patient rebuilding. I gave myself the gift my sister never could. A life without pretending. A story without sabotage. A future not borrowed or stolen, but earned. And when the time comes, and my child asks me about family, about love, about how to survive heartbreak, I'll tell them the truth. That sometimes, the worst pain doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people who claim to know you best. But it's never the end of your story. It's just the moment you finally start writing your own.